Hi guys, this is Stephen with iFoundAgent, just doing a continuation video where I'm diving into some forms and just wanted to show you all the different functionality that we have. One thing I forgot to mention before is that your website has Gravity Forms. Almost every one of our websites that we build, it comes with Gravity Forms, which is one of the most premier form building tools available for these kinds of sites. So anyhow, in the last video I left off right here where I was just editing a form and what fields that we're in, kind of playing with that. I'm gonna move on from that right now. I want to go into some of the general form settings. So if I just go into the main form settings, I can add a description here. There's some basic options as far as layout I can do. These ones aren't too pertinent, but we'll go through them anyway. So like if you have a description on your field, like something that explains what that field means, um, you can change it to be below or above the input, something like that. Um, the form button, this is kind of a big one. So if you're doing some sort of lead capture form, by default the form button is going to say submit, but there are studies that show changing that language actually makes a difference depending on what you're doing. So you can say sign up now, or send me my free guide. Depending on what your form is offering and doing, you may want to change that button text. It could help on your conversion rates. Um, there may be options to allow people to save and continue. I don't recommend getting into that, so let's just leave that there. There are some other options here about um, anti-spam honeypot. You can check this box if you notice that you're getting some junk entries, but for the most part, that's a pretty rare thing on our sites. Because of our security and firewall, you don't really see too much of that. Anyway, so once you're done making the changes to the form settings, you can say update form settings. Okay, so the more exciting settings that we want to get into is off to the left-hand side. You can see where it says confirmations. So if you've ever worked with any sort of landing page builder in the past, or really just even if you've never done that but maybe used an online form before, right? As soon as you submit, there's usually some sort of message that says, "Thank you for submitting your information. Thank you for whatever it is that you just did." So by default, your form is going to say something like, "Thanks for contacting us. We'll get in touch with you shortly." You can edit this. You can make this message more specific to what they're signing up for. So if you are making a landing page that needs a form and you want people to sign up for a hot list of homes, right? Thanks for signing up to receive your hot list of homes. Obviously, I'm being a little facetious here, but you get the idea. Whatever your form is, if your form's lead capturing, people signed up that form for something, for some reason, right? What was that reason? This message should be specific to that reason. You have some options here too that um, if you want to, instead of just sending them a message, you could send them to a different page on your website. So if I click page up here, I can select a page that I've prepared on my site. Excuse me. So if perhaps I have a page on the back folds of my site that's not necessarily visible to everybody, but I've just put a whole bunch of good information out, and people had to sign up for it just to see it. I could do that. I could make as soon as they hit that submit button, I could redirect them to where all that information is. So I can pick my other page here, right? And then the last option here is redirect. This is very similar to page, but redirect means you could send them to any page you want to, or any URL you want to. So for the example, another example of this is if you have a PDF guide, right, and you want them to be able to download that guide, but you don't want to give it to them until they've signed up, on the sign up form, you can actually have it redirect them directly to that URL. So if you've uploaded that PDF to your website using your media area, you can upload that PDF and then you can get the URL, drop it right here. So when they hit submit, it takes them right to that PDF document, in which case the site will either have them preview it, or their browser will actually either have them preview it or download it. So you can do that as well. I'm going to stick with text, do something similar. All right, the next thing I wanted to show you is notifications. This is where it gets a little more exciting. So the standard notifications on a form usually just has one or two. One for the admin notification meaning like what's going to be sent to you, and the user notification means what's going to be sent to the user. So if I just click edit or just click on it right here, you can see this one's called the user notification. It's going to send to, and then you can manually enter the email address. Select a field is most common, right? Because we had them enter their email address. We want to send it to the email field. So this little drop down will look up any email addresses that the form collected and let you choose the field. So it's going to send to the email address that they entered, because it's going to look for the field that was the email field. Perfect. And from name, if I want to specify who the email's from, I can put my name in here or put the website name or the company name, whatever I want. The from email, it's got a special code in here that says admin email. This is basically um, uh, we typically set the admin email on this website as you. So this is coming from you. It'll be replied to you. And BCC means that, do I want to send a copy of this message to myself or to anybody else? I can do so right here, just separate them by commas. Here's the subject line, and here's the body. And you see that in this message it just says something like all fields, and this is just another smart merge tag which will grab any field that they entered in the form. It'll just regurgitate that information right here on the email. That way, the default message back to users is saying, hey, thanks for contacting me. I'll follow up. Here's the information you provided, and it'll list everything that they provided here. You can change this message to whatever you would like. And there are other merge tags here. So if you want to personalize this to this person, you could say, hello, and then you can use this little merge tag button, and it's got different fields. For their name, right here, this full name field first, that's their first name. Hello, first name. Thanks for contacting me. Blah, 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 blah. You could just, whatever you want, whatever your heart's content here. So then you would just update the notification when you're happy with it. Back in notifications, if you want to change the email that you get notified, right? Maybe you want to send it not only to you, but another team member. Maybe you wanted to send it to you and another CRM that picks up emails from different systems, like some do, like a lead email address. Right now, it's going to be sending this email to the admin email, which is basically you. It's going to be sent from basically that client, whatever information they put in from their own email address. And then right here, BCC, this is where you could say, oh, you know what, I have a CRM that will import leads from pretty much any system. I can drop that special email address right here, and it'll automatically integrate. Or I work with the team, and I want to make sure this goes to my assistant, so that way they can traffic this lead and get it to the right person on our team. However that works. Maybe you have multiple email addresses, and they would just be separated by comma here. Subject line, new submission from, and then the form's title, and then it just lists all the fields that they entered here. So again, you could get creative with it, you can get manual with it, you can use this little merge tag to select. This merge tag option has all the fields that are in the form, and some extra stuff. You can even show the URL back to the entry, so a link back to the entry inside the website. The embed URL is basically what page did they fill this form out at. Goodness. The refer is basically like, where did they come from? Did they come from another page on your site? Did they come from another website before they got here? You can throw that information in here as well. Oopsies, I think I just messed something up. So that's how that works. And then once you're done configuring that, you can just hit save. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching.